make each of you suffer equally. I wanted to let you guys know about new things that are happening with the mixed nuts. And there's a lot of cool news going on. I think the thing I'm most proud of is, let me see here. Nick, I need screen sharing permission.
Tim, I think you'd have to enable that at this point.
Well,
Right now, Geshe-la.
Looks good. Let me see what I was going to show you guys. Here's the most important thing. So yesterday, the day before, we delayed our wedding reception for 2 years. And we had it yesterday, and a lot of mixed nuts were there. And it was really fun. And I'd like to thank everybody who came and everybody who helped. You can see it, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool. The cake was really good. The lady was okay too. Let's see what else I got. I got something else for you guys. This is called Emptiness Meditations. This was Udpala's first book. It took 5 years of translation work.
Excuse me, Geshe.
Yeah.
We're seeing
sorry.
the King of Dharma. Yeah.
Oopsie. Let me try again. Dang. That's messy. Yeah, hang on. I don't see that. Let me see.
It's still the king.
What? Dang, let me get rid of this. I'm sorry, hang on. This is too fancy. What do you see now, Stanley?
You only.
Oh, just a handsome guy.
Just the handsome guy.
Hang on. Okay, let's try again. Dang. Okay, hang on. Hang on. I'm sorry.
Take your time, Geshe-la. It's early.
I'm still trying. It's weird. Okay, hang on. I'm close. Oh, I don't think it works. Okay. One more thing. I will try. All right. You can see that, right?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So this is a book called Emptiness Meditations. And it took 5 years of our classes to finish it. And it's an unbelievable book. It's almost 500 pages of very deep teaching on emptiness and amazing teachings on how to meditate. I'm hearing somebody, Nick. And what's cool about this book is it's an ebook. So it was completed a couple of weeks ago by Utpala. And you can see how cool it is. And it took about 5 years, and we were having trouble printing books by paper and sending them all over the world. And that was a big, big problem with the mixed nuts. This was the first mixed nuts book, the Dhammapada Sutra, and the printing took about, I don't know, a year to finish. And now there's a big shortage of paper. There's a big shortage of ships. And this is our first ebook. So on the first day that it came out, 500 people ordered it. And 500 people got it in about, I don't know, in about 1 hour, 500 people could get this book. And that's because of the hard work of Utpala. If you guys can see her, Beth's Greer. Maybe she could wave. I don't know where she is. But she did all the work. She got this book finished. And then Rosa van Grieken, who used to live in Los Angeles in a very beautiful apartment, she called me and she said, Geshe-la, do you need any help, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I really need help in Sedona, you know? And she said, okay, I'll move to Sedona tomorrow, you know? And she sold her apartment. She came to Sedona and she didn't ask for any help. She didn't make any noise. She just quietly found a place to live. And she showed up at the office, and she shows up every day. And then she said, just give me work, Geshe-la, just give me the things you need. So I said, can you make an ebook from this book, you know? And she said, well, you know, I never did publish it. I'm in the fashion industry, but let me see what I can do. And there's a special horse in the Buddhist books called Ta Chang She. Anybody can guess for $100?
The horse
Village horse.
can read the writer's mind before the writer.
Yeah,
starts.
Stanley, that's a good way to start your class. It's a special flying horse, and it can read the writer's mind. So she said, oh yeah, okay, don't worry about it, Geshe-la. And then, I don't know, a couple days later, we have this ebook, and she figured it out, you know, after 10 years or something. She figured it out in about 2 days, 3 days. And I just like to welcome her to Sedona and thank her for her hard work, unbelievable hard work. And Utpala, I had Thanksgiving dinner with her the other day, and her eyes are watering, you know, her eyes were really big and watering, you know. And I said, are you okay? And she said, yeah, I'm okay, Geshe-la, you know. And it seems like she's been spending hundreds of hours checking these books. And even her eyes changed now from working so hard. And she finished editing this book in just a short time. And then she said, let's do another book, Geshe-la. So here's the Golden Key. This is Wordsmith's book. It's probably the most important book about the mind-only school ever written, which is the main school of China. And it's an extraordinary translation, extremely difficult and beautiful. And she finished working on that. Word finished working on that. So I'm excited that our first books are coming out now. Let me see. And this is a DCI course. We had it, I don't know, earlier this year. You can see it, right, Nick? Time management. Yeah. And if you go to the middle of this thing, it's called we call Diamond Mining Primer. It's how to do business manuals based on the great books of the mixed nuts. And here you have the instructions. There's the Shen Song and Tai Zong, Tongue Tai Zong, and how to use Word's book in your business, you see? So the translations that these guys are doing, this is a special course on time management for business people. And these translations are going directly to ebook. Everybody in the world can order them. And then they go directly into courses for business people. And this is actually, Nick, I don't know, this is Word's book. This is Word's mind-only book used for time management, to teach people time management. So that was the big goal of 5 years of hard work. I think we did about 800 classes, I think, if I'm correct, 800 classes to reach this place. And I just want to thank everybody, Nick and Ben Kramer and everybody who's working so hard. I'll tell you more about these guys in the following days. I don't want to take too much from each time of each translator, but I'll give you some more later, okay? So Stanley, you ready to suffer?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you can see his text, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're starting here, term 15. And let me see something. Okay, that's easier. Oops.
By the way, Geshe-la, I sent you an updated version with my Sanskrit homework.
Yeah, I saw it. That's the one I was supposed to get about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. I know. I saw it. But it was a little bit late. Okay. All right. But we can use it. So here's an update on Stanley's text. Stanley, do you want to describe your text quickly for people who don't know?
So the text is an ancient commentary on the famous Buddhist Wikipedia, maybe. It's called Abhidharma Kosha. And then the English name of this book is called The Treasure House of High Knowledge. And it's the main book for the first school of the 4 ancient Indian Buddhist school. So Abhidharma is also the name for the first school. So basically, this book has a very broad description of everything in the universe, and it contains 8 chapters. And for example, some of the most important foundation teaching of all schools, including the DCI levels that we're using, like how karma work, the 4 steps of planting good seeds, are all coming from the same book. So it acts as a foundation of all other books. And this time we are, as I understand, Geshe-la, going to finish the first chapter, which is all the categories in the universe. So the first chapter is named the categories, and I'm excited for it. And thank you, Geshe, for all your hard work. Yeah.
Yeah, let me show you guys something. Oh, yep. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys something. Hang on. This is the new DCI level. We're gonna do 12 new levels of DCI. The last foundation levels took 12 years. And now we're starting a second group of levels for 12 years. This is called How to Solve Problems and How to Turn Them into Masterpieces. And that will be shown in January for the first time in the world. And it's based on Stanley's book, okay? The categories in Stanley's first volume are the different states of mind that you can use for problem solving. So you see how the Mixed Nuts books are going directly into the DCI manuals. And this is a very beautiful course, advanced course, about how to solve problems and how to turn them into masterpieces. And it's based on Stanley's book. I think it's it's the first chapter, really. So it's the chapter that we are studying now. And so it's very exciting that the Mixed Nuts materials are going straight into these books, okay? All right, here's a progress report, Stanley. His book will finish. His book is so big. His book takes 26 years to finish. And the first book will finish after almost 6 years. And that's, 5 years. It's going to finish this term. So Stanley's first book will finish this term. His book has 6 different books. Each book will take about 6 years to translate. And the first book, which is 300 pages, the classes will be finished this term. And it's very exciting to reach the end of the first book because that's the most difficult book and that's the most important book. That's the one that we can use for business applications and for having a successful life. I'm going to try to give you a better cursor, Stanley. Uh-oh. I'm going to cancel that. It's not working. Okay, here we go. Please read this long sentence.
Okay. Here. Okay. Nipani.
Yeah, good. I'm sorry, my cursor is not working. Yeah, and it means part number 2. So we've reached part number 2. And we have to go back in an ancient book. You have to go backwards to find part number 2. And we are dividing all the things in the world into inner things and outer things, the things that are inside and the things that are outside. So Stanley, Chi means outer, Nang means inner, Gone means by dividing into outer and inner. I'm going to present let me try my cursor one more time, you guys. I hope it works. No, it doesn't want to work. Okay. All right. Do you want to try to read the Sanskrit, Stanley, slow? Don't forget long A.
Iva Dasha.
Yeah. Dasha.
Dasha. Adhyatmika.
Good.
Hitva.
Hitva.
Rupadin.
Nice, Rupadin.
Rupa.
And what that means is, read this now, Stanley. This should be a comment here.
Nan ki chu ni su la sok matok
Good.
session.
She Chung. Yeah, good. So how many categories in the whole universe, Stanley, if you divide into the most number?
Oh, 18.
In
18
Abhidharma.
categories.
Yeah, 18, good. 18 categories. Can you show us in 3 sets of 6?
Yeah, it would be the 3 sense organs like eyes, ears, nose, tongue,
Yeah.
body, mind.
Yeah,
And
6.
then
Yeah.
6. And then the 6 consciousness of the
Good.
6 sense organs.
Good.
And then the 6 objects of
Yeah.
these same 6 sense organs. Yeah.
And I'll ask you a question, okay? And don't be nervous just because everybody's watching you. If you had to say which ones are inside the person and which ones are outside the person, just what would you guess without thinking?
I would guess, the object would be outside, and then the sense organs and the consciousness would be the inside, inner things.
Yeah, good. That's exactly right. So how many total inside?
12, 6 plus
Yeah,
6.
so here's the Tibetan. Nangi Chini, 12 are inside. And matok means not including. Sukla so, which means physical colors and shapes, etc. The 6 objects, okay? So he just named the first one, the object of the eye, okay? So he said 12 of these categories of all existing things, which we used very deeply for the new DCI level. 12 of them are inside the human being. And then there's a group that's not included, which is the visible things, okay? So that's the root text written by Vasubandhu 1,700 years ago. And by the way, he's very famous actually for his work on the mind-only school. And we're going to hear a lot from that in Sugang's text, okay, by the same author, okay? All right, please read this, Stanley.
Nanki kan chechen, kela chu ni yote, chi suk la sok pa yuki kam ju matok pa, wampo, juk dam nam shit jupo, nam beyin beche.
Okay, cool. What's this Chen, Stanley? Chen.
This is like a debate format. So Chechen is the subject of the debate.
Yeah, nice. So he's like, Nangi Chini Chen, Kila Chini Yate, Chi Su, shit, it's a debate, okay? It's a false debate. Like the other guy is asleep 2,000 years ago. All right. So what's Nangi Kam, Stanley? Can you guess?
So Nang is
Nang means inside.
Nang is inside. Kan is the categories.
Yeah, let's take the inside categories, okay? Hilda means you, but it means it, right? So it has 12 different types, okay? Let's take the inner categories. It has 12 different types, okay? And we're gonna matopa. Matopa means let's not include. Chi means what?
Outside.
Yeah, the outside things, such as visible things, suk, visible things, okay? In this case, it means visible things. It doesn't mean physical form, okay? Let's take the outer visible things, etc. Hearable things, smellable things, tasteable things, feelable things, and thinkable things. Well, that's a debate. Let's take those 6. Take those 6 out, and you get 12. What are the 12? Wambo du. What's that mean, Stanley? Wambo du.
The sense organ.
Yeah, nice. The 6 sense organs and the namshetu.
And the 6 consciousness.
Good, good. Okay, cool. Don't forget, you guys, we're at the end of the first chapter. And it almost seems like Vasubandhu's in a rush. He's just covering small points quickly. I think he had to go to a party or something. And he seems like he's in a little bit of a rush. And he's covering smaller points quickly at the end of the first chapter. Okay. Stanley, what's the story? What's his relationship to this school? Briefly.
Briefly, he was the master of the school. He studied all the books of the Abhidharma school. And then he met his brother, who's a master of the mind-only school, and he got converted by his brother.
Wait, what's the brother's name?
Master Asanga.
Yeah.
And then who's like a student of Maitreya. And then later he changed into mind-only school. But then he wrote this book to maybe keep the teaching of the Abhidharma school when he already becomes a mind-only master.
Good. Nice summary. Then you feel at the end of the first chapter, you feel like he has his little note cards, and he says, oh my God, I forgot this inner thing. Let's put in the inner thing. And he puts it in quickly. And then he goes to the next thing. Please read this line.
Sumbani.
Yeah. Which means what?
Number 3.
Yeah, it's his third minor points, minor ideas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an extremely difficult section.
Oh.
And you're lucky I can speak English, which my teacher couldn't. Okay. Say Denche.
Denche Te Sun Ki Gone. Bangja.
Yeah, Gone means we're going to divide all these 18 categories again. We're going to divide these 18 categories again. Denche means we're going to talk about the ones which have a support under them. Okay, so Den means support, and Che means they have a support holding them up. There's something holding them up. Okay, Det Sung means and the support and the thing are having a relationship of active. They are active. They are turned on. Okay, it's like your phone. Okay, so my phone is not turned on. Oops, my phone is not turned on. And then if I Denje Detsung, I turn it on. You see, it's active. Okay. By the way, that's Dunhuang Library, where they found the diamond cutter with Veronica. So it's a very difficult idea when 2 of the 18 categories are one is supporting the other, and they are turned on. Denje Detsung means they are active. They are active. Okay, and we're gonna see why. Okay, we're gonna see why. I'm gonna read the Sanskrit just because it's kind of hard. Dharma sansnyaka sabhaga tat sabhagascha shesha yona svakarmakart. Okay, and we're lucky because this book, John Brady's ALL, found the Sanskrit. We have the Sanskrit. So we have the original book that, for example, Master Chen found this book also in India. And we are lucky that we have the Sanskrit. And let's read the Tibetan, Stanley.
Chushe Japate Empa Tangche Lapma Ni Te Tang Sumba Tap Kyang Yin Kangshik Ranki Le Miche.
Okay, good. Okay. She Jawa means so-called. Che means Dharma. This is Dharma Dhatu. This is Dharma Dhatu. Stanley, can you describe it? Or it's I think you could say it's number 17, maybe.
Dharma Dhatu, so translated in the English, is the category of all things.
Good.
And
it's the object.
the object of the consciousness, the object of number 6 consciousness of the,
Nice.
which is the consciousness of the mind.
Good, good, beautiful, beautiful. So really, when you think about it, your sixth consciousness, your mental awareness, it can be aware of all the things in the world. So we call it what it looks at. We call it all the things in the world, okay? And the first line here says, we call it all the things in the world. Okay? That one is Temba Dang Che. Che means involved with, Dang Che, involved with reliance, something depending on it, okay? The 17th category of the 18 is all the stuff you're aware of when you close your eyes, for example. The whole world, okay? And it's always active. It's always in action. There's always something resting on it, okay? There's always something resting on it, which is your mind. And it means, and it's going to be important later in these classes, it means your mind is always in operation. Your mind never stops, okay? Even when you're asleep, even when you're knocked out, your mind is always in operation. There's always something resting on it. There's always something resting on it. Now, hey, Word, is Word there? He didn't get left in Arizona.
Yes, again, I'm here.
If this means something resting on it, what's wrong with the spelling?
It's missing a vowel.
Nice, beautiful. That's why I hired you. Yeah, if it means something resting on it, Stanley, this should be spelled B-R-T-E-N. Should be spelled B-R-T-E-N. So this temba means relying. It doesn't mean something relying on it. Something relying on something else is spelled B-R-T-E-N. So if you don't spell it with the B, it just means the action of relying, okay? So here it means it's working, it's doing its thing, okay? Is there ever a time when your mind is not thinking or aware? Is there ever a time? We say no. In Abhidharma, we say no. It's always resting on all the stuff that it's thinking about, okay? It never stops. It never stops. Even when you die, it doesn't stop, okay? And by the way, those people who say that the goal of Buddhism is to stop thinking about things, this line itself shows it's a crazy idea, because you cannot stop the mind. It never stops, okay? Cannot stop it, okay? Because it always has something it's looking at, okay? Now, Sagma means the rest of them, okay? It means the other 17 categories, except for the things, dharmas, things, okay? Dedan Sumba, they can be equivalent. They can be equivalent. It means they can also have a consciousness resting on them or not. Can be, but not always. Only the mental one is going all the time. The other ones, if you drink a cup of coffee, then the tongue consciousness has something resting on it. In that case, it's similar to the mind. It's working. It's doing its thing. Okay, right now. Whoa. And at that moment, my eye consciousness was not looking. In that millisecond that my tongue hit the coffee, I cannot see also at the same time. It's not possible, which is why you're not allowed to drink coffee during the class. All right. unless you're a mixed nut, right, Ben Kramer?
That's right.
Okay, Dedan Sumba Dakyangi. Okay, so the other 17 or 16, they can be engaged or not, okay? All right. Who's not engaged? Kashik Rangi Lemiche, okay? Those which are not doing their function. Kashik means anyone, Le means function, Miche not doing, Rang means its own function. They are like the other side. Sumba here means they are not functioning. Some are not functioning, okay? When you're tasting your coffee, the I consciousness is not functioning, okay? It's not doing its work, okay? So this is an interesting comment at the end of Stanley's book, okay? What parts of you, what parts of Stanley are always working? And what parts of Stanley can take a break sometimes and not working, okay? All right, so let's go read the commentary, okay? Please, Mr. Chen.
车学家为康尼车人，他企图登堂去爬因的，那些qui有do mi cure me repeat
Missy Becher, okay?
repeat
Okay, so Chishe Jawe comments, let's talk about category number 17, which is called all the stuff in the universe, okay? Let's talk about that. Tachiktu means exclusively, only. Tachiktu means exclusively. It is only in operation, A consciousness is resting on an object. A consciousness is doing its thing on an object, okay? Tendanche, it's in operation, okay? And there's the note that word clarified for us. You cannot read ten as relier because it's not spelled that way, okay? It just means reliance, okay? All right, so this is the only category of the 18, can we say? Or it is a category of the 18 which is always in operation. It never stops. The mind never stops being aware of something, okay? It's not possible, okay? And then he gives his classic reason. Namsheki yude mingyoa misipe. Anybody want to try to translate that? Namsheki yude mingyoa misipe. Okay.
The object of the consciousness does not exist as such.
You should pay me.
Not possible to change.
No, this gear doesn't mean change. This gear means to be, but
Right.
good guess.
It never becomes impossible
No,
for it to
I
have
can't
an
give up.
object.
It's not possible that any object in the universe cannot be the object of a consciousness. It's not possible. There doesn't exist any case of a single object in the universe which is not perceived by the mind. It's not possible, okay? Everything in the universe can be an object of the mind. You cannot point to something in the universe which is not an object of the mind, okay?
Not
Because then
even
it wouldn't exist. It couldn't exist, okay? Every object, in a sense, is in operation at some point or another, okay? All right, it's very interesting, okay? Which, again, I made a note here. It means that that idea of non-duality, or you should turn off your mind, it's crazy. It doesn't understand the first chapter of the first book of Buddhism, you know? It's like crazy idea, stupid idea, okay? to turn your mind off or don't think about anything. This sentence means that's not possible. Okay. All right, Stanley. By the way, if anyone ever tells you meditation means thinking about nothing, you can show them the first important book of Buddhism, the first chapter of the first important book in Buddhism, and end of argument. Okay. All right, Stanley, let's go. Nick, when do we stop? What time?
In 6 minutes,
6 minutes.
6:55.
Okay. Oh, so this is the kind of class where you have a number one break, but you can't have a number two break, I think.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
Oh no, we have a 10-minute break this time.
Oh, okay. Stanley, let's go.
Okay. Klapma namdi churchin denche tamte tang sumba tak kyang yurte kam shik rang ki le cheshin pa denche tang le mi chepa nite sum inbeche.
Okay, this is very difficult, okay? And imagine trying to do it with a 55-year-old geshe who can't speak English. Just after I explain it to you, try to imagine that.
Okay.
Plagma namni means, now let's take the remainder. Stanley, after you take out Dharma Dhatu, how many Dhatus left?
Wait, 7,
How many categories left?
17?
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, Slagma, let's take the other 17. Okay. They can be in operation. Tenche, something is relying on them. A consciousness is relying on them. Okay. All the 17 other ones can be in operation. There's a consciousness resting on them. Okay. Or the other side of that. Sumba usually means equal. Okay, so this is going to be confusing for word, for example. Sumba means equal. Okay, but here it means the other side. Okay, meaning not in operation. Okay, it's a very difficult use of the word. Okay, so either they are tenche in operation, there's a consciousness resting on them, or they are the other, the other side or the other hand. You see, meaning they are not in operation. Okay, so category number 17 always has something resting on it. Always, it's never not in operation. But the other 17 can be in operation or its counterpart. In English, we say counterpart, meaning not in operation. Okay, it can be in operation. Here, Tsumba means counterpart. Okay, and if you don't know that, you'll never understand this point. Okay, which means what? What's the counterpart to in operation?
Not in operation.
Beautiful, Stanley. Beautiful, beautiful. Man, you can go back to bed after this, okay? Just put a picture on your camera. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Data and Tsumba means equivalent, but it means not in operation, okay? So this, what's he saying here? The other 17 could be,
In operation or
they could be not in operation. Yay, okay. Well, which ones are in operation? Oh, the leche.
The functional ones.
Yeah, the ones that are doing their thing. The ones that are doing their work. Leche. Kanshik rangi leche. The ones that are doing something. Okay, watch. Right now, my tongue consciousness is detsung. It's turned off. Okay? It's turned off. It's the other half. The other half. Okay. Now watch. Leche. Okay. Now it's tenche. The consciousness of the tongue was relying on the tongue to taste the taste. Tenche. There was relying on the coffee. Okay. Why? Leche, it was doing its job. It was doing, my tongue consciousness was doing its job, okay? That's called tenche. There was work going on, okay? Like this, here's the coffee, here's the tongue organ and the tongue awareness, okay? And it was doing its thing, okay? Now what's my taste of tongue doing right now, Stanley?
Not working. It's not doing.
Yeah, le miche. Le miche is what we mean when we say the other side, detsung. So detsung is a very difficult Abhidharma idiom. Okay, detsung. By the way, Abhidharma idioms cost you $40, Stanley. I usually charge him $20 for an American idiom. Okay, so detsung
Brett.
is a very difficult word for not in operation. Okay, Nick, we're gonna finish this last sentence fast. Stanley, quick.
Cool.
Tena miki sukta tapa tang mita be kya ki kam shinno.
Yeah, for example, when the eye is looking at the color blue or something, it's tenche. What's that mean? It's in operation. And when it's not looking at a color, it's detsung, which means the other half, meaning not in operation. Okay, you guys okay? Everyone confused? Come on, this is an easy one. Okay, this is the easiest book you're gonna get today, except for Allison's book. All right, Gewadi.
Thank you.
Nick, what do we do now?
Take a break for 9 minutes.
Okay, Stanley, and I'll put your Sanskrit in next time and we'll look at it, okay?
I'll send you earlier. Yeah, thank you.
Nah, don't worry, that's okay. You had a lot of work this week. Okay, we'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Yeah, 5 after.